nutrition goes to school. 'Cause we are the agents of change. And higher be the greatest. We are the agents of change. 'Cause we're the awesome generation. To dream of a better future, we need a healthy present. Good nutrition we must nurture to build an active world. Breakfast before you go, make sure your plate's complete with food that can make you nourished. Run fast towards your goal, live life full. Before we begin, please let me state first a few reminders. Participants are expected to enter the Zoom webinar. We recommend to use your headphones for better sound quality, or even provides an interpreter from English to Bahasa Indonesia. At the end of the session, participants are expected to fill out the evaluation form as the proof of attendance. The certificates shall be given only to the participants who've completed the evaluation form. The link to the evaluation form will be shown on screen before and at the end of the session. The certificates of attendance will be available 3 weeks after this webinar. For further information, please visit SEAMEO RECFON website and social media regularly for more information. Be sure to subscribe and like SEAMEO RECFON YouTube channel and follow our other social media accounts for more information. We will be starting our webinar in a minute. To all distinguished guests, Acting Director General of Teachers and Education Personnel of Ministry of Education, Culture, Research and Technology of Republic of Indonesia, represented by the Director of Teacher and Education Personnel of Basic Education, Dr. Rahmadi Widiharto, Director of SEAMEO Secretariat, represented by Deputy Director Program and Development of SEAMEO Secretariat, Mr. John Arnold Sasi Siena. Board of Directors, Managers, and Experts of SEAMEO RECFON and SEAMEO Centers Indonesia. All distinguished resource persons, all honorable participants, sir, madam, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Peace be upon you. A very good morning from Jakarta. Welcome to webinar on nutrition, health, and productivity nexus in the workplace. Hosted by the Southeast Asian Ministers of Education Organization, Regional Center for Food and Nutrition, or SEAMEO RECFON. We hope you will learn a lot today, and we will have lined up for you to be fruitful and engaging. My name is Nindita Priscilia, a SEAMEO RECFON's training officer, and it is my pleasure to be your master of ceremony for today's webinar. This webinar is conducted as part of a series of celebrations surrounding SEAMEO RECFON's 12th anniversary, with this year's theme emphasizing on nutrition, health, and productivity nexus in the workplace. SEAMEO RECFON conducts this webinar aiming to share results and best practices towards enhancing the perspective of the target audience on nutrition for productivity and contribute to solving the double burden of malnutrition among workers in Southeast Asia. For your information, SEAMEO RECFON is hosting this webinar on Zoom and live streamed on SEAMEO RECFON's YouTube channel. So very welcome to our participants who have joined us on our YouTube channel as well. Before we proceed any further, let me give you a brief introduction of SEAMEO RECFON. SEAMEO RECFON is one of the 26 specialist centers of the Southeast Asian Ministers of Education Organization, or SEAMEO, and our center envisions becoming the center of excellence for building capacities in food and nutrition for all people in Southeast Asia. We are now operating under our third five-year development plan, which aims to undertake multi-sectoral and inclusive nutrition development for uplifting the lives of our stakeholders through our research, training, community development, information exchange, and partnership mandates. To gain more understanding of our organization, we would like to invite you to watch the upcoming videos of SEAMEO Colors and SEAMEO Song.
It's time to open our eyes to a bright and promising future. We'll rise to the call of the times and create a stronger tomorrow. Let's start to make a difference, teaching everyone to learn through science, health, and technology. We will share our expertise by promoting knowledge and policies. We can build a better world. Let us take a stand for our visions alone, bringing future plans for the people to grow in a life filled with happiness and green. Here at SEAMEO, building the future is our legacy. We'll achieve our goals through partnership, creating opportunities by accomplish all our dreams, for a better quality of life is now within our reach. Let us take a stand for our visions of hope, making future plans for the people to grow in a life filled with happiness and glee. Hear us, SEAMEO, building the future is our legacy. Let us take a stand for our visions of hope, making future plans for the people to grow in a life filled with happiness and glee. Hear us, SEAMEO, building the future is our legacy. Building the future is our legacy. At SEAMEO,
Indeed, building the future is our legacy. Ladies and gentlemen, to welcome you all, we would like to invite Acting Director of SEAMEO RECFON, Dr. Zainon Misbah, MSc, to give his welcoming remarks. Please welcome Dr. Zainon.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. To all distinguished guests, eminent resource persons, and moderator, Professor Muhtaruddin Mansur, PhD from Universitas Indonesia, Professor Minichi from International Medical University, Malaysia, Dr. Sukma Agung Purbowo from Association Indonesia Association of Family Physicians, Risti Rosmiati from Universitas Negeri Medan, also Dr. Indah Suci Widyahening from SEAMEO RECFON, and also SEAMEO RECFON College. Ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Peace be upon you. Very good morning to all of you. It is my honor to welcome you all in this opening ceremony for our webinar on nutrition, health, and productivity nexus in the workplace that we are holding this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, the SEAMEO Regional Center for Food and Nutrition, or RECFON, with its vision of being the center of excellence for building capabilities in food and nutrition in Southeast Asia, adopt lifespan approach to develop quality human resources at different stages of life. Our center strive to achieve this through our mandates in research, capacity building, community development, partnership, and knowledge management and policy support, which are manifested in our three flagship programs, namely Early Childhood Care and Nutrition Education, ECCNE, Nutrition Goes to School, NGTS, and Nutrition Goes to the Workplace, or NGTW. The latter flagship programs, which target the adult, especially those in the working sector, was just finished as part of the center's third 5-year development plan to complete its lifespan approach. Ladies and gentlemen, several studies and literature reviews indicate that lack of physical activity and unhealthy eating behavior are responsible for the loss of worker productivity and ultimately cause a substantial economic burden. This problem can be caused by an increase in sick days and a reduced level of worker productivity due to the risk factor they suffer, such as obesity. A study showed that worker productivity can increase by at least 2% when workers make healthier food choices and develop healthy eating habits. In addition, poor dietary habits can result in fatigue, decreased mental effectiveness, and the ability to perform work effectively. Malnutrition causes workers to be irritable, have lower energy level, and have higher stress and depression. Since 1/3 of human life during the productive age is spent in a workplace setting, utilizing the workplace to improve the health and nutritional status of workers as part of increasing work productivity is important. This also applies in school concerning teachers. Teachers plays an important role in achieving quality education. Teachers who are in a good health and nutrition status are expected to be more engaging in interacting with their students to carry out their duties and responsibilities. Loss of teachers' productivity can disrupt the learning process, which may adversely affect the quality of students. Being perceived as role models to their students, teachers must be able to advocate good health and nutrition to their students through their food choices as well as lifestyle. Ladies and gentlemen, as part of our commitment in advocating the importance of nutrition in the workplace, as a series of activities for our 12th anniversary celebration, we have organized this webinar as a venue to share research results and best practices on nutrition for productivity to solve double burden of malnutrition among workers in Southeast Asia. During this webinar, we will also officially launch our latest laboratory service, online training and competition on ECCNE implementation to support our mandates on community development, training, and research. We will also announce the winner of our social media competition that we held a month ago. We hope that through this webinar, you can obtain valuable insight on the importance of paying attention on worker nutrition from the presentation of our eminent resource persons. We further hope that this webinar could result to establishing collaboration among us to take action for nutrition improvement in our respective work area. Once again, I would like to extend my warm welcome to all of you in this webinar. Let's collaborate to build healthy habits at the workplace for a productive life. Have a good day, stay healthy and productive. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Dr. Zain, for your remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, proceeding with our next agenda, and without further ado, we will hear opening remarks from the SEAMEO Secretariat. Therefore, I would like to invite our Director of SEAMEO Secretariat, who is represented by Deputy Director Program and Development SEAMEO Secretariat, Mr. John Arnold Sasi Siena. Mr. John Arnold will deliver his opening remarks on behalf of the Director. Please welcome Mr. John Arnold.
Thank you very much for that warm introduction. Good day, everyone. I hope that you can all hear me. Firstly, I would like to introduce myself again. My name is John Arnold Siena, the newly appointed Deputy Director for Program and Development, the Southeast Asian Ministers of Education Organization Secretariat. It is my pleasure to join you in this very important event, and I look forward to joining future activities of the SEAMEO Regional Center for Food and Nutrition or RECFON. It is unfortunate that Dr. Ethel Valenzuela, the Director of SEAMEO Secretariat, cannot join us today as she is attending a previously arranged event. Nevertheless, she is sending you all her greetings and felicitations. So on behalf of Director Ethel and the entire SEAMEO Secretariat family, allow me to congratulate all the officials and staff of SEAMEO RECFON under the able leadership of Dr. Zainon Misbah as you celebrate your 12th anniversary. Indeed, you have gone a long way as a SEAMEO Center advocating for and working towards evidence-based policies, programs, and practices in relation to food and nutrition in Southeast Asia, and particularly in our schools. Your work and achievements form part of SEAMEO's significant contribution to improving the quality of life in the region. So again, congratulations. We are very happy that you are marking this milestone with a very relevant webinar on nutrition, health, and productivity nexus. As we are all trying to recover from the adverse effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, everyone is very much concerned about their overall health, physical, mental, and emotional. The good news is that sickness can be prevented. Controlling for other factors, good health can be attained through proper nutrition and food choices combined with a healthy lifestyle. Some say it is not rocket science, but it is always good to listen to experts and to consider evidence. Hence, we thank all the researchers, the experts, the resource persons for sharing their time and, more importantly, their expertise, their insights, and ideas and thoughts with us today. Their work covering and investigating 4 specific programs and interventions will be able to provide evidence that can prove useful as we make decisions individually and collectively toward improving health and productivity in our respective workplaces, especially in our schools. Their findings and insights will definitely be interesting points for discussion. So I invite everyone to listen very carefully and participate actively. As an outcome of this webinar, we would be very happy to hear how you will make use of the research findings and recommendations to improve nutrition, health, and productivity in your respective workplaces. Ultimately, we want to see a healthier sea region with very productive and happy people enjoying a better quality of life. Lastly, I would like to congratulate in advance the winners of the SEAMEO RECFON social media competition. This award, I believe, heightens the campaign for better health and nutrition in the region and beyond, as it adds color and meaning to this event and to the anniversary celebration of the center. So again, I wish everyone a productive and meaningful engagement in this webinar. Happy 12th anniversary to RECFON. Stay safe, healthy, happy, and productive. Good morning, everyone.
Thank you very much, Mr. John, for your remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my absolute honor to welcome our distinguished keynote speaker, Acting Director General of Teachers and Education Personnel of Ministry of Education, Culture, Research, and Technology, represented by Director of Teacher and Education Personnel of Basic Education, Dr. Rahmadi Widiharto. Please join me to welcome Dr. Rahmadi Widiharto for his keynote speech.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning to all distinguished guests, Director of SEAMEO Secretariat or Representative, Director of SEAMEO Centers in Indonesia or their representatives, as well as honorable speakers and moderator from Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning to all distinguished guests.
We are currently facing technical difficulties and our committee is doing their best to work on it. So please wait a moment until we can watch our video remarks from Ministry of Education. We would like to remind you again that webinar on nutrition, health, and productivity nexus in the workplace is hosted by SEAMEO RECFON in celebration of SEAMEO RECFON's 12th anniversary. So this webinar is also live streamed on YouTube, and we are currently facing technical difficulties, so please kindly wait until our committee can solve it.
We need a healthy present. Good nutrition we must nurture to build an active world. Breakfast before you go. Make sure your plate's complete with food that can make you nourished. Run fast towards your goal. Live life with full of hope together.
This webinar aims to share research results and best practice towards enhancing the perspective of the target audience on nutrition for productivity and contribute to solving the double burden of malnutrition among workers in Southeast Asia. So we have lined up of resource speakers who will share their expertise in our panel session. So please wait a moment after our remarks.
Good nutrition we must nurture to build an active world. Breakfast before you go. Make sure your plate's complete with food that can make you nourished. Run fast towards your goal. Live life with full of hope together.
We would like to inform you again that SEAMEO RECFON is one of the 26 specialist centers of the Southeast Asian Ministers of Education Organization, or SEAMEO. Our center envisions becoming the center of excellence for building capacities in food and nutrition of all people in Southeast Asia. We are now operating under our third 5-year development plan, which aims to undertake multi-sectoral and inclusive nutrition development for uplifting the lives of stakeholders through research, training, community development, information exchange, and many more. And this webinar is one of the celebration of our 12th anniversary, which will be continued with our next webinar on Saturday, this Saturday, the 25th of February. So don't forget to register yourself later on. So in commemorating the 63rd National Nutrition Day, and still in the spirit of SEAMEO RECFON's 12th anniversary, SEAMEO RECFON is also conducting another webinar this Saturday in collaboration with UHAMKA and Universitas Ahmad Dahlan. We will conduct a webinar to promote animal-based protein consumption for stunting eradication. So don't forget to register yourself as well on this webinar. You can find
Certainly, you and I know the reason why
or
good health and nutrition are important for us. Looking after this matters all part of the parenting. It's the SEAME, early childhood care, nutrition and education, integrated holistic for child growth and development.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning to all distinguished guests, Director of SEAMEO Secretariat or Representative, Director of SEAMEO Centers in Indonesia or their representatives, as well as honorable speakers and moderator from various institutions, Professor Mukhtaruddin Mansur, MD, PhD from Universitas Indonesia, Professor Winiji, International Medical University from Malaysia, Dr. Sukma Agung Purbowo, MARS, SP, DLP, SPKKLP, Universitas Yarsi or Indonesian Association of Family Physicians,
they can
Risti Rosmiati, SGC, Master Science from Universitas Negeri Medan, Dr. Indah Suci Widya Hening, MS, MSc, CMF, PhD, and SEAMEO RECFON College. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor for me to give a keynote speech for this webinar concerning nutrition, health, and productivity nexus in the workplace held by SEAMEO RECFON. We would like to congratulate SEAMEO RECFON on the 12th anniversary this year. We wish success for this event. We also appreciate the initiative to involve the Directorate General for Teacher and Education Personnel on this webinar. This topic of webinar on nutrition, health, and productivity nexus in the workplace are in line with some main tasks and function of Directorate General for Teachers and Education Personnel, such as improving the quality of education by improving human beings. For example, the program of Healthy School campaign that create Indonesian children who are healthy, strong, and intelligent with character through 3 healthy programs: healthy nutritious, healthy physique, and healthy immunizations. They will influence a healthy lifestyle in the work environment. To clarify this, in the program of Healthy Nutritious, we are campaign on understanding balanced nutrition, habituation of eating and drinking with balanced nutrition, avoiding eating fast food, sweetened, preservatives, and healthy canteen development. There are about number of school, teachers, and students in Indonesia get involved in this program. The program is one of many actions to solve the issues of malnutrition at school. We are sure that malnutrition is one of determinants of non-communicable disease. We realize that we need more action to solve this problem. Therefore, we still need more valid data about this so that needs of studies, evidence-based best practices in combating malnutrition should be addressed. Malnutrition become a common problem. In the context of school, all parties or stakeholders must collaborate to solve this problem. Everyone has a role. Teacher and school principal have to be aware of this issue. Many strategies and approaches can be done by all institutions, even by using technology to accelerate that can reach a wider range. Ladies and gentlemen, a recommendation for the future program or intervention are: the need for collaboration is a must. Be aware of malnutrition. Let us prepare our children as the healthy generation of the future. With the spirit of gotong royong, we call for relevant stakeholders to take action and collaboration in combating malnutrition in Indonesia, especially in education setting. Thank you and happy joining the webinar.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rahmadi, for your valuable insights and enlightenments. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope this could be our reflection and pave our ways to better address nutrition for productivity. In a moment, we will be showing you another video remarks, last but not least, from Director General of Higher Education, Research and Technology of the Ministry of Education, Culture, Research and Technology of Republic of Indonesia, Professor Insinyur Nizam MSc. The remarks video will be followed by congratulatory video messages from our colleagues in SEAMEO Centers Indonesia. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Prof. Nizam.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good morning to all of you. I am Nizam, Acting Director General of Higher Education, Research and Technology, Ministry of Education, Culture, Research and Technology. Please allow me to congratulate SEAMEO RECFON for its 12th anniversary. My appreciations to all academicians and researchers that have contributed into research and development in SEAMEO RECFON, SEAMEO Regional Center for Food and Nutrition Research. Food and nutrition are fundamental in the development of every nation. Health and human development very much depends on good quality nutrition and food intake. Therefore, research and development in food and nutrition is very important to be conducted timely. I hope SEAMEO RECFON can continue doing good research that will benefit member countries in the region. I wish you all a fruitful and successful exchange of ideas through this webinar. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good day to all speakers, participants, and committees of this regional webinar hosted by SEAMEO RECFON. I wish you will gain more knowledge through these precious events and have a pleasant discussions during webinar. On behalf of SEAMEO Simulec, I would like to say happy 12th birthday to SEAMEO RECFON. Congratulations on reaching this milestone. May you continue to grow and succeed in your missions to improve food and nutrition developments for a better quality of life in Southeast Asia. Thank you and best wishes for the year ahead. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
greeting from SEAMEO Biotrop, Indonesia. Dear participants of the workshop on nutrition, health, and productivity nexus in the workplace, I congratulate you on taking part in this important workshop. Good nutrition and healthy lifestyle significantly impact our physical and mental well-being. A healthy workforce is beneficial for the individual and translates into better productivity, increased job satisfaction, and improved job performance. On this particular occasion, I would also congratulate SEAMEO RECFON for its 12th anniversary celebration. We wish you continued success and growth in your endeavor. We look forward to seeing your continued contribution to the field of food nutrition to improve the health and well-being of Southeast Asia people. Happy anniversary, SEAMEO RECFON.
On behalf of SEAMEO Kitabil Language, I'm honored to congratulate SEAMEO RECFON on its 12th anniversary. SEAMEO RECFON has come a long way and faced challenges to achieve many extraordinary things over these 12 years. As we know, food and nutrition are essential elements in increasing productivity and improving the quality of human life. As a regional center for food and nutrition, SEAMEO RECFON plays an important role in providing food and nutrition development options for a better quality of life for all peoples of Southeast Asia. I hope SEAMEO RECFON and SEAMEO Kitabil Language can synergize our efforts to improve the quality of human life in the region. Wishing you many years of success and innovation. Happy 12th anniversary, SEAMEO RECFON.
Success never comes in a day. It's come with strong determination and with great hard work. And SEAMEO RECFON is an example of that. Through this webinar, we can see the effort of SEAMEO RECFON in elevating the quality of nutrition and health of workers in Southeast Asia. Because a healthy worker is a productive worker. On this blissful and charming day of SEAMEO RECFON 12th anniversary, may you continue the journey of success with pride. On behalf of SEAMEO Kitabil Science, I wish you happiness and many more years of success.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dear management and staff of SEAMEO RECFON, have a wonderful 12th anniversary, celebrating another year of hard work, innovation, and success. Congratulations on your anniversary and all your achievements in food and nutrition in Southeast Asia and beyond. Stay amazing. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A very good morning to the Acting Director of SEAMEO RECFON as well as for today's webinar. In today's occasion, we from SEAMEO SESEP would like to extend our congratulations for the SEAMEO RECFON's 12th anniversary. We believe that SEAMEO RECFON has played fundamental roles in raising people's awareness toward the issues of health and nutrition. In today's occasion, we also would like to extend our congratulations to SEAMEO RECFON for being able to conduct today's webinar entitled of Nutrition, Health and Productivity Nexus in the Workplace. We believe that the topic is highly important and it is also very timely to be explored. We wish all the participants to gain the best knowledge during the webinar. Once again, our heartwarming congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. Nizam, for allocating your time to provide your video remarks. We are also very delighted to receive such heartwarming messages from our colleagues in celebration of SEAMEO RECFON's 12 years anniversary. Honorable guests, before we're moving on to the next agenda, I would like to kindly invite you to all, please activate your camera for some photo sessions for our documentations. So our committee will help us taking pictures. So this is for our documentation purposes. So there will be a few slides on Zoom, and you can also use your virtual background that the committee has provided. And the cue will be on me. Please, the committee, if you're ready. Okay. Our committee is trying to... Okay. We now have a few slides in front of us. Please, we're still waiting for all participants to activate your camera. Are we ready? Okay, we're ready. I would count to 3. Please put on your brightest smile. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we got the first slide. And then the next slide, please bear with me. I would count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we got our next slide. Are we done? Okay, the committee has taken our photo for documentation. Thank you very much, everyone, for participating. I hope participants are getting more excited as we are now coming to our next agenda. The long-awaited session will be started anytime soon. So we will have a series of presentations from our distinguished resource persons. This session will be moderated by SEAMEO RECFON's expert, Dr. Indah Suci Widyaning, PhD. Dr. Indah Suci Widyaning, PhD, is an expert in Southeast Asian Ministers of Education Regional Center for Food and Nutrition, or SEAMEO RECFON, as well as an associate professor in Faculty of Medicine, Universitas Indonesia, at Community Medicine Department. Doc Indah obtained her PhD degree in epidemiology from Utrecht University, Netherlands. In SEAMEO RECFON, she also serves as a coordinator for Nutrition Goes to Workplace, or NGTW flagship program. Her extensive experience will without a doubt lead the session into a fruitful one. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please welcome our moderator, Dr. Indah Suci Widyaning, PhD.
Morning. Good morning, honorable guests, distinguished speakers, and esteemed participants. We will shortly start our main program for today, which is a webinar entitled Nutrition, Health, and Productivity Nexus in the Workplace. In this webinar, we will have 2 distinguished international experts who will share their vast knowledge and expertise about this topic. We will also have 2 researchers who will share their experience and findings from their recent research about this topic. So, without further ado, I would like to invite our first speakers, Professor Mukhtaruddin Mansur, MD. Oh, okay, right, sorry. Before we start with our first speaker, I would like to explain first about our Nutrition Goes to Workplace program. So this is our 3rd flagship program, which is called Nutrition Goes to Workplace, or Gizi untuk Produktivitas in Bahasa Indonesia. So from many literatures and studies previously, we already understand lack of physical activity and also eating behavior would lead to many health problems, which in the end will cause the loss of productivity among workers. If workers and also behavior, they will experience many health problems to the nutrition and which will loss in their productivity, and in the end it would of course cause substantial economic burden. Okay, so many studies also already found evidence that healthier food choices, which is also part of healthy eating habits, will increase worker productivity. So it is an important role in the productivity among workers. Because of that, it is agreed that utilizing the workplace to improve health and nutritional workers, part of increasing work productivity is next. Okay, SEAMEO RECFON as a regional center for food and nutrition previously already have two flexi programs. Yeah, which the first is early childhood care, nutrition, and education. And then also the nutrition goes to school program. The ACCNE or early childhood care, nutrition, and education program targeted to the children under 5 years old, while the nutrition goes to school program is the program targeted to the children of school age, yeah, and also teenager. And because in SEAMEO RECFON, we embrace the concept of lifespan approach to nutrition. Therefore, we launch our new flexi program called Nutrition Goes to Workplace, which is already initiated last year as part of our third 5-year development plan. The goal of these new flexi programs is to optimize productivity and well-being of working adults toward enabling them to contribute to their family welfare and company's viability through an integrated implementation of appropriate community nutrition and occupational health interventions. Okay, these programs have several objectives, which are to bridge the health and nutrition gaps among various demographics of working communities in different work settings toward developing appropriate food-based recommendations. The second is to enhance the knowledge and practice of workers and employers on healthier food choices and better eating habits that leads to their optimum productivity. The third objective is to enhance the institutional capacities of employers to address workers' food and nutrition security through relevant policy and program interventions. And the last objective is to build strategic partnerships with workers and employers organizations to promote healthy and nutrition-friendly workplace for optimum productivity. Next. So this is the current framework of our Nutrition Goes to Workplace program, where these programs is actually built upon two very important knowledge, which is occupational health and also food and nutrition, and which we have also 4 components in the program as part of the framework, which is first nutrition and health education, development of food-based recommendation, nutrition and health policy program strengthening, and also strategic partnership to achieve well-being and productivity among workers. The target of this program is adults, of course, yeah, especially those in the working sectors with both for formal workers and also involving white and blue collars workers and private and public, with an assumption of a higher proportion of female workers, especially in the education, manufacturing and textile sectors in the region. We will give special attention to female workers. Thus, this program will also support the efforts of alleviating stunting and other early childhood malnutrition problems by giving special attention to female workers. So again, this is the program components. The first is nutrition and health education for employers and workers. The second is to development of food-based recommendation. The third is advocacy for health and nutrition policy strengthening in the workplace. And the last component is partnership with workers and employers organization. Okay. We at the beginning of our program, some research already are conducted, which is listed in the screen. The first is intervention strategies to improve nutrition and health of oil and gas worker through diet optimization using linear programming approach. Another research is school-based blood pressure control intervention model for elementary school teachers, a systematic review. Sustainability-based action teacher or SUBAT model to improve primary school teachers' health, nutrition status, and performance in Bali province, and also the development of productivity risk self-assessment tool or PRISAT for early detection of non-communicable disease risk factors that reduces the urban workers' productivity. Some of the result of the research will be presented in this webinar. Next. Okay, and already some publication already resulted from the research, as you can see in the screen. Okay, so I think this would be the end of my presentation. I would like, before I end the presentation, we would also like inform about the call for articles for our SEAMEO RECFON Awesome magazine, the fourth edition, which is an annual popular English publication on food and nutrition for Southeast Asia that is meant for general readership. And in this edition, the topic will be balanced nutrition practice in the workplace, which is very related to this webinar today. And the submission is open until 20th of April 2023. You can find about the guideline and this for the submission in the link. Okay, so I think this would be the end of my presentation, and I would like to invite the first speaker for today, Professor Mukhtaruddin Mansur, MD PhD from Universitas Indonesia, who will share his knowledge about workplace-based nutrition intervention towards nutrition for all. Professor Mukhtaruddin Mansur is a professor on occupational health in the Faculty of Medicine, Universitas Indonesia. Professor Mukhtaruddin obtained his PhD degree from Leeds Beckett University, United Kingdom. He is a former director of SEAMEO RECFON and also experienced as former director of occupational health and sports in the Ministry of Health. He's, of course, already participates in many professional organizations related to his background, including the ASEAN Intensive Reader of Pneumoconiosis, International Commission on Occupational Health, and Association of Indonesian Occupational Medicine Specialists. So, Prof. Mukhtar, the time and screen is yours.
Thank you very much, Dr. Indah, for your very kind introduction and very great introduction of the nutrition goes to a place. Good morning, good day, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished again, moderator Dr. Indah, speakers, committee, and all participants. I'm pleased here with you, and thanks to the SEAMEO RECFON for giving me opportunity to share the basic idea of workplace-based nutrition intervention towards nutrition for all. And I would like also to wish SEAMEO RECFON for the 12th SEAMEO RECFON anniversary. More power, more beneficiaries. Yes. This is the way of reach the root of population to overcome the nutrition problem at the whole. By alleviating nutrition problem at the working population means, please slide presentation, will reach the broader communities since the workers are the backbone of the community. Meanwhile, next slide, we know the multiple burden of nutrition problem at the working age population. In this population, regionally in ASEAN, especially in Southeast Asian countries, we have been facing multiple burden nutrition problem for decades. We can see the prevalence of anemia, for example, among the female workers and pregnant women is more than 40% in some countries in Asia, in Southeast Asia. In Indonesia especially, we can see the more prevalence of anemia among the female workers is in young female in comparison with other age. In the same period, we can see the prevalence of obesity in almost all of countries in Asia is a bit high. More than 15% of the workers, both in males and females, are obesity. The other problem is about the environmental contaminant and occupational exposure. Next, please. We can see some risk factors about of obesity is especially due to the lack of activities. We can see social stressor, psychosocial at the workplace, and also long working hours, as well as shift work, have a great contribution to the nutrition problem for workers. And also the occupational and environmental exposure, including food contaminant, is the other nutrition problem for this population. Next, please. WHO have over the healthy workplace framework and model. They recommended that we have to consider physical work environment, psychosocial work environment, personal health resources, as well as the involvement of the enterprise or the company. The principle of approach to workplace health promotion are addressed at the underlying causes of ill health, combining the first method of intervention. Next slide, we can see the nutrition in the workplace plays an essential role in supporting workers' health through a balanced nutrition approach. That is what the SEAMEO RECFON initiated through the food-based intervention. Reciprocally, occupational health is an approach to solving nutritional problems in workers, which in turn impacts the nutrition and health of families and communities. Well, in this slide, we can see the workplace-based nutrition environment should be integrated nutrition education to improve workers' knowledge and practices of balance, nutrition, and healthy habits. We can see that workplace health promotion is aimed at effective worker participation and is not partially based on medical activities only, but should be part of the work organization and working condition. We may start with the assessment in the individual level, organization level, and the community level, and then we may make a plan to implement the intervention. You all may refer to the Vision Zero approach. We know there are 9 golden rules of Vision Zero. The main component is the leadership support. And then in the implementation, we have to consider about the environmental support, especially from the employer. Then we should do the evaluation related to the productivity to show the evidence that the workplace health intervention, including nutrition intervention, have significant contribution to the workers' performance and enterprise and community productivity. Well, next slide. What kind of activities we should do is especially the integrated nutrition education, including factory canteen. Factory canteen and the food is provided food should be used as a part of nutrition education. All of this should be supported by the factory or company health services to strengthen workers' activities with health promotion and preventive approach via workplace hazard prevention and control, and minimizing the risk of occupational and environmental food contaminant. Next, please. However, the implementation of workplace nutrition intervention as well as health promotion is not a piece of cake or like a barista to make a cup of coffee. There are challenges, including the support and role model of the workers' leaders. In the economic side, this is a very challenge to change, to shift the paradigm from junk food to the revenue, because many shops, many canteen over the junk food, it's more profit than the traditional healthier foods. And then make workers eat healthier food and more eat them is really challenging. Subjective norm and land stigma, because usually, for example, for adolescents, for the workers who bring the fruit from home, usually is not really what can familiar or is not a norm, see as a normal way. They prefer to go to the canteen, to go to shop, to take the, including the unhealthy food like junk food. And then sometimes company, enterprise face the funding problems, because this is a challenge how to make a menu of healthy food to be cheaper, at least the same price with the cost of the existing food they provide. Well, I think that's the basic idea from me. Thank you for your attention. Back to you, Dr. Indah. Thank you very much again.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much, Professor Mukhtaruddin Mansur, for your valuable knowledge and experience. And also, I would like to call our second speaker, which will be present his topic on video recording. The Professor Dr. Winnie Chi Siu Sue from International Medical University Malaysia, which will present the topic about a structured lifestyle program for workplace wellness through video recording. Professor Winnie Chi is Professor of Nutrition and Dietetics at International Medical University in Malaysia. And she also assumes the role of Pro-Vice Chancellor Academic. Prof. Chi is active in research and publication with over 90 peer-reviewed publications and has led several research grants on dietary or lifestyle interventions for the prevention and management of type 2 diabetes, obesity, and bone health. Prof. Chi also speaks at national and international workshops and conferences and featured in news media to promote healthy diet and lifestyle to the public. So I would like to let the committee to play the video of Prof. Winnie Chi.
A very good morning to all the audience, and I would like to begin by thanking the organizing committee, SEAMEO RECFON, and also Pak Jess for inviting me to share our experiences on workplace wellness in IMU. In the next 15 minutes or so, I will be talking about describing to you our IMU workplace wellness journey and provide some details on the IMU Structured Lifestyle Wellness Program for Disease Management, and also inform you of the outcomes and success factors for the program. Now, it has been widely reported that Malaysia is facing an obesity epidemic, and along with this, also the comorbidities of obesity, such as diabetes, heart disease, and hypertension. So these prevalences of these diseases is a public health issue in Malaysia. Therefore, it is not surprising that the prevalence of such NCDs we see in our country is also reflected at the workplace. What prompted IMU to begin looking at workplace wellness were observations from our human resource department that the institution is facing escalating medical claims for NCDs, leading to high absenteeism at work. Upon reflection, we also noticed that in the workforce of about 1,000 staff that we have, consisting of lecturers as well as corporate staff, we spend about 10 to 12 hours at work. And as a result of that, we also eat at least 2 meals a day at the workplace. And in addition, we are also known as the International Meeting University, and this is a common joke among us. And each time we have lengthy meetings and workshops, we also serve a lot of food. When we embarked on wellness journey, the baseline data that we collected showed that on average, most of us walk about 3,000 steps a day, and we are quite sedentary at the office. So you can see that all of this is why the risk factors, these are all risk factors for the NCDs that our staff may face. So as a result of that, we have decided that it is high time. The president of the university way back in 2017 decided that it is high time that we have workplace wellness set up in IMU. We are a niche university and we deliver only medical and health related programs. So we really must walk the talk to show our staff as well as our students. So we launched our workplace wellness program with the objective of reducing health risks and promoting healthy behaviors among our staff. And we made a commitment to become a wellness university, and we declared this commitment with the launch of the IMU Wellness. And we invited the Ministry of Health, actually, the Deputy Minister of Health came to launch this for us in 2017. So one of the things that we did was we not only declared internally, well, we made it public so that the commitment is there among all of us. So how did we do this, implement the IMU Wellness? The journey started by first beginning with the right intent, and the right intent from the senior management of the university. So we set up an IMU Wellness Steering Committee that was established, and then this was chaired by the Vice Chancellor. So before we launched it in 2017, we already set up the steering committee in 2016. So the Wellness Steering Committee actually came up with a health and wellness policy. So if you write it down in a policy, this will ensure that there's a sustainable evidence-based strategies, right, that will empower our staff to lead healthier lives. Within the policy is a series of action plans and how we're going to evaluate evaluate our goal, that we have achieved our goal for workplace wellness. So this is what a way that we plan our implementation of our wellness journey. So there were a couple of focus areas that was within the policy. So we looked at 5 key focus areas. One is health risk assessment, lifestyle management, that means having activities that will encourage healthy lifestyle among our staff, disease management for high-risk staff that has got chronic disease. We also focused on smoking cessation as well as mental health and stress management. So let me talk a little bit about the health risk assessment. Now, we are well aware that a lot of Malaysians are not aware that they actually have NCDs. So it is within the policy that we will provide pre-screening in the IMU clinics. Of course, these are actually covered by the insurance that are being bought by human resource for us. At the same time, it is mandatory. Every year we have a health screening exercise, and it's mandatory for staff to participate in this health screening, be it at the clinic or when we do the public health screening. And for all new staff that join, they must undergo, this health screening. And also when we renew our contracts within the university, we also need to undergo, this health screening. Our commitment is also there for health screening, where we join the Ministry of Health Initiative for Healthy Community, and part of that is workplace wellness. So with that commitment, we are actually expected to screen up to 100% of our employees within a few years. So our goal that we set for ourselves was to screen at least 50% of our employees every year for BMI, blood sugar level, and blood pressure. Then we had all these activities that must promote healthy lifestyle and healthy diet. So this is where one of the key initiatives on healthy diet was actually looking at the food environment. So all the foods that are being sold in IMU cafeteria and also in anywhere that is within the premise of IMU, we have implemented the Healthy Cafeteria Guideline. And this is actually set by the Ministry of Health. And if you visit our cafeteria, you'll be able to have healthy food choices, as well as make informed choices on the calories of the foods that you would like to eat. So all the menu board contain the calories. The calories are being calculated by our nutrition and dietetics faculty. And then all our cafeteria food stalls also are trained in handling safe food and nutritious food, also safe food. So you can see here that the minister, when he came, he actually gave all these A-grade food stalls that was given by the local council to all our food stalls, because they have been trained. We are a center for handling safe food handlers course. And at the same time, you have also depiction of messages like this that promote, smaller portions, healthier food choices. And we also have a nutrition corner in our cafeteria. The HR also actually ensured that staff are given, a lot of activities that will promote active living. So every week, Friday is a day that we will have all these activities, and they are being championed by our wellness champion that consists of the staff themselves. So we have sports club, walking group, yoga, Zumba classes. And at the same time, HR also invests that we can download the book doc, which is another digital health company that help us with steps tracking and monitoring. And if you come to IMU, you see a lot of positive messages that encourage people to use the stairs as well. Now, let me now focus on the structured lifestyle program component. So the components of we call it the IMU HEAL program, actually. The objective here is to look at people with chronic diseases, right, and obesity. And it is actually to empower our staff for lifestyle changes for the purpose of weight loss and cardiometabolic health. So to be eligible for this program, and this program, by the way, is being delivered by the faculty from the Center for Transformative Nutrition and Health, which are dietitians and nutritionists. And we work together with our digital health company, Naluri, and also we work together with Human Resource Department, of course. So if the staff has got BMI of more than 27, they are eligible to join this program. And they also get support on digital health monitoring through our partner. So the components of the structured lifestyle program that we do consists of the provision of structured meal plans. So they get meal plans on how to manage their weight. And we also get sponsorship for some meal replacements, which are evidence-based, to assist with the weight loss. So these meal replacements are sponsored by industry, and we can, the staff can actually opt to take some meal replacement if they want to accelerate their weight loss. We also ensure that there's also an exercise component, and there are 5 group activities that we do for the purpose of education and skill building. And we have the digital health support as well that we work with our partner Naluri. So this entire program actually runs for 12 weeks. So let me go a little bit of detail. The first group session that we do in these 12 weeks is actually teaching our participants how to portion control their food. So they learn hands-on in our food lab on the right portion sizes that will meet their energy requirement for the purpose of weight loss. And also in each session, we will ensure that we begin with group exercises. So what you can see here, we actually set the calendar when we are holding it. The participants come down, and this will take only about half a day. The most is 2 hours actually, because they are all working, and they will come and learn all these skills with us. The second session that is actually a fun session that we do, where we actually take them out for a supermarket tour. So this session is actually really good. We collaborate with our local supermarket. We bring our participants for a tour to learn how to read nutrition labels and select healthy foods for their daily shopping. So this usually takes place in the weekend. The third group session is actually about cooking. So we teach the participants, and the person who teaches them are actually our alumni. He's a graduate of our program. And he comes back and teaches the class on how to modify recipes, local favorite Malaysian recipes, into healthier options. And we do this on a weekend. The participants can also bring along their family members for this. So this is actually a fun session we have. The next session where we talk about is about eating out. So what we do here is we actually reimburse the participants for their lunch, right? So on one of these days, they go out and buy their lunch. They come back to the food lab. We all sit down together and we discuss how their selection actually meet the healthier eating guidelines. So they learn a lot from this actually. And finally, before we end the 12 weeks, we have a successful weight maintenance session. And under this session, the group will actually come together again, reflect on what they have learned, and they also will set their goal on what they want to be after they have finished their program, look at their own success, how much they have achieved, and what they want to do to maintain that healthy lifestyle. Again, every session always begins and ends with a group exercise. So in terms of the structured meal plan, actually what they get is a pictorial guide to help them plan their meals. And we also provide them with a meal replacement because for some of the participants, it is very difficult for them to actually have healthier food choices within their environment. And if taking these evidence-based meal replacement beverages help them to support weight loss. But we don't just depend on the meal replacements. You can see here that we actually give them healthier food choices as well. So we also teach them how to eat healthily. We use the traffic lights for them to select choices. So they get a manual that has got for breakfast and for lunch and for snacks. What is red? That means try not to choose these. Yellows, choose these occasionally. Green means you can choose these more often. And they can actually, these meals are all tailored to keep within certain calories that will help them with weight loss. They are all low-fat choices, high-fiber choices, and choices that have got whole grains. And we also give them, choices of drinks and beverages, which are 0 calories, and also snacks that they can put in their daily meals that are low calorie, that will help them, to sustain their energy, but at the same time, not increasing calorie intake. Now, the best part of the entire program, actually, we are very appreciative, is our collaborator, which is Naluri, which is a local digital health company that provides support where the participants can upload their food choices. So they can upload their food choices. They can chat with the dietitian, and these dietitians, some of them are actually from IMU, who have volunteered their time to actually give feedback to our participants and also their thought journal to monitor their progress. And they have access to all health coaches within the Naluri platform. And they also get knowledge modules that they can actually, learn more about how to sustain a healthy lifestyle from this platform. So what was the result after all the effort that we put in for 12 weeks? Now, we have run this for several cohorts, and this is the result of 2 cohorts of participants that we had. We have published that. And we are very pleased to actually inform you that it was very successful. The average weight loss was about 5 kilograms, which is about 6% from their baseline weight that they started off. And they had reductions in their BMI as well significantly. So it looks like this program actually was successful in, getting the weight loss. But what surprised us also was we had improvements in blood pressure. So there was significant drop in their systolic and diastolic blood pressure. And the proportion of participants who actually met their target blood pressure increased double almost. More than half of them were in the normal blood pressure range after their weight loss and after participating in this program. We also saw some reduction in triglyceride level, as well as an improvement in their HDL cholesterol level. So you can see here that we are able to obtain positive health outcomes to some extent for our IMU Heal participant. And it strengthens the reason why we are investing in workplace wellness. It is worth it for our HR department to actually invest in this. But what is also very satisfying for us was we won 2 years consecutively of being Malaysia's Healthiest Workplace and Healthiest Employer Award, which was organized by AIA. So we won the category for, being a university with workplace wellness. And it actually had a participation of more than 100 companies. So our employees actually voted us, and we won these awards 2 years in a row. So that was very, was really good, for all the effort that we have put in. So the way forward, but since 2021, 2021, actually, we were not able to do it because of the pandemic, and because all the face-to-face sessions. So what we have done is actually we have converted it into IMU eHeal. So this is all the activities are now being converted to online. We have just announced new participation on the eHeal program. So I look forward to be able to share our experiences and report our results. The results maybe later if there's an opportunity to actually tell you when we convert to eHeal how successful it will be. So in conclusion, my reflection is that actually wellness is a continuous journey. And to make wellness work at the workplace, it requires actually a lot of commitment from the top management. And the employees themselves need to take responsibility. So we need to also buy in that this is actually for our own health and well-being. So if we have all this well in place and the commitment is there, and we can show people that we do get positive results with this is where workplace wellness becomes very successful. So with that, I really thank you for all your kind attention. And I hope that this will inspire the audiences to also start thinking about improving workplace wellness within your own organization. So, and with that, thank you very much for your attention.
Yeah. Thank you, Professor Winnie. Professor Winnie has shared a very inspiring program that was implemented in her university. Yeah, I'm very happy that we will also have some experience in the workplace in implementing a healthy program, which will be shared by our next two speakers. The first, I would like to invite Dr. Sukma Agung Purbowo, Mars, spesialis kedokteran keluarga layanan primer from Perhimpunan Dokter Keluarga Indonesia, who will present his top research about intervention model for school-based blood pressure control for elementary school teachers. Dr. Sukma is graduated from Faculty of Medicine, Universitas Indonesia in 2002. Then he continued his master in hospital management at Faculty of Public Health, UI. Since then, he worked as a freelance hospital consultant, researcher, guest lecturer at UI, and also have a practice as medical doctor. In 2019, he was inaugurated officially as family physician. Nowadays, he continues to dedicate his life in family medicine science development. Meanwhile, does research in primary healthcare setting for his doctoral study. He also have his private practice and actively educates community and workers on tuberculosis, hypertension, and healthy lifestyle, and also behavioral change program. Dr. Sukma, the time and screen is yours.
Okay. Bismillah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning. Thank you, Dr. Indah, for your kindly introduction. And thank you especially for SEAMEO RECFON, Pak Zainun, for this opportunity. It's such an honor for me to be able to speak to you all with other more expert speakers in this very important event. With the permission of my promoter and co-promoter here from Muhtar and Dr. Indah, let me please kindly share our research titled School-Based Intervention Model to Control Blood Pressure for Elementary School Teachers. Next slide. Okay. Yeah. However, I can present all part of my research in detail here due to the limitation of time. So I try to simplify it, and I hope it still could inspire and give you a new horizon on how important nutrition, physical activity, health status, and productivity nexus in the workplace. Just like our webinar theme today, this presentation would be divided into 4 main parts. Firstly, the reason why we do this research, and then how to develop a model, and the model itself and its effects, and finally the conclusion. Slide, please. Here's the introduction, okay. We found in some literatures, but not many, that the hypertension prevalence among school teachers was quite high, especially elementary school teachers. This high prevalence was related to sedentary or low occupational activity at workplace, unhealthy diet, obesity, and work stress. Particularly regarding workload, the elementary school teachers had to teach and take care of pupils simultaneously. Slide, please. We also found the evidence that healthy behavior change as provided in workplace wellness program is the one of effective ways to control high blood pressure. It has so many advantages. As we know, people spend 1/3 of their lifetime at a workplace, so it would be easy to monitor, and law of attrition has bigger impact to decrease the prevalence than individually intervention. And school, particularly, is a perfect place for people to obtain knowledge. People can learn everything there. And health promoting school as a form of a workplace wellness program at school that also has been proven effective in communicable and non-communicable disease prevention. The problem is those research are still more focusing on students' health behavior than teachers. Moreover, the specific program to control high blood pressure for elementary school teacher was not existing yet. The same situation also happened in our country, Indonesia. The existing program like UKS or School Health Promoting Program and Posbindu or Integrated Health Post was not focusing on the teacher's health yet. Slide, please. That's why we want to do this study. Slide. Based on the background, so the study was aimed to develop a model in a scientific and theoretical base and to measure its effect to the health, behavior change, and blood pressure. Slide, please. And how we did it, slide. We adopt what Campbell and his colleagues suggest about how to use theoretical framework to design and evaluate a complex intervention to improve health. And it's also known as Medical Research Council or MRC framework by using multi-component approach. In this study, we implement 3 steps from all of MRC's 5 steps. Those are as presented on the slide. Firstly, we did systematic review as in preclinical stage. By doing this review, we could find the evidence of how workplace wellness programs significantly control the blood pressure and identify multi-component that would be necessary to build our model draft. Secondly, we conduct focus group discussion as part of phenomenological study. In order to adjust the draft model more suitable in a local setting. Thirdly, we conduct feasibility study to obtain how the implementation and effect objectively. Besides Campbell's, we also use other theories like mandala of health as human ecological model that would be necessary to build a health promotion program at workplace, theoretical integration of key behavioral determinants for behavior change by Fishban and Michi, and SIPOC model from Six Sigma of Total Quality Management by Edward Deming for mapping the model's elements. Next, please. And here is the result. Next slide. The first result is the model itself. Slide, please. From the first and second steps, we could develop a model and it was refined at the third stage. We call the model as Sukma model. It is in Bahasa version, as you can read on the screen. And if we translate in English, Sukma model stands for more or less the usage of screening result as feedback for elementary school teachers to monitor their healthy behavior change in order to control high blood pressure. And as you see there, Sukma model is an approach to change behavior in a health promotion program. It is provided by a primary healthcare and family doctor as the person in charge. Lasts for 3 months at the beginning of academic year period. Next slide, please. We then arranged 3 teams for screening, educators, and counselors, and created modules, logbook for self-monitoring, and a WhatsApp group to support this program. We conducted this study in 3 elementary schools in Central Jakarta, SD Kramat and Kenari. There were 44 school teachers joined it. And these were our activities from on-site screening, and then online education via and training via Zoom application, consultation and counseling, and also offline activities such as doing low-impact exercise together and group counseling. Next slide, please. Our mission was stated in a jargon, in a bahasa as you read there, Sehat Guruku, Cerdas Bangsaku, that means healthy teacher for smart generation or smart nation. And then hindari, you can read it, ESIC, dengan melakukan 3P, it's mean let's avoid 3S and 1C, that means stroke, heart disease, kidney disease, and COVID-19 by doing 3P. This 3P stands for DES implementation, increase physical activity or PA, periodically blood pressure examination. As we know, those 3 diseases are the most causes of death in the world and categorized as complication of hypertension that would emerge suddenly when you do not control your blood pressure. And we also know that hypertension is a comorbid for COVID-19 too. That's why it's very important to control your blood pressure. The main point of DASH or this dietary approach to stop hypertension is we want to increase the fruit and vegetable daily consumption among participants, at least 2 to 3 times a day or larger the portion. We also introduce brown rice and low-fat milk as alternatives. Eat more white meat than the red one, and consume soybean or red bean. For PA or physical activity, we suggest participants to become more active at workplace and to do more walking, like brisk walking, at least 5 times a week for 30 minutes. Since the pandemic was getting better, we also motivate them to redo workout or low-impact exercise together in the school year. Of course, should be still obey the protocol. And finally, we suggest them to recheck their blood pressure regularly as provided in our guideline. Next slide, please. And after we know the model, now we'll talk about the effects as our secondary result. Next, please. Alhamdulillah, fortunately, after 3 months, pre- and post-test statistical analysis using Wilcoxon and Perti test showed that the improvement. As you see on the screen, health behavior like DASH score increased half points. That means 25%. So the participant here start to eat brown rice and more eat fruit and vegetables. And walking PA was also increased by 230 minutes, that means more than 100%. They motivate to walk, to do the brisk walking on the way to the school or during the teaching activity. Both of them were statistically significant. And finally, the blood pressure has also improved. It decreased by 5 millimeter mercury for systolic and 6 millimeter mercury for diastolic, and both of them were also statistically significant. The proportion of teachers who identified as prehypertension and hypertension were also decreased consecutively by 11% and 25%. Next slide, please. So the conclusion is, next slide. SUKMA model has successfully been developed and implemented. It is effective in changing behavior and blood pressure control, but further study is still needed to establish its result. Next slide, please. More research on workplace wellness program focusing on healthy diet and PA for school teacher should be conducted, and school staff and relevant stakeholders should support it while keep doing and creating healthy behavior environment at school. Primary healthcare, especially family physician, could adopt this program to improve their duty and service coverage. Slide, please. Finally, we thank to contributors and institutions which support us, of course, the SEAMEO RECFON and Universitas Indonesia for funding this research, and the laboratory from SEAMEO and Cipto Mangunkusumo Hospital, our informants and program participants from public elementary schools of Province DKI Jakarta, primary healthcare Province of DKI Jakarta, professional organization like PDKI, Perdoki, HIMSI, Education and Health Office of DKI Jakarta, Ministry of Health Republic of Indonesia, and last but not least, our solid team, screening, educators, and family physician counselor. Thank you so much for all your support to this research. Next slide, please. And here's this references. Next slide, please. That's all for the presentation, and I do hope it could inspire us and we could obtain so many benefits from it. Thank you for your attention, and please do not hesitate to ask if you have something to clarify or opinions in our discussion session. And next slide, please. And finally, happy anniversary for SEAMEO RECFON. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Sukma, for sharing the Sukma program, which is a very inspiring program, which I hope have the potential for all the participants here to implement such program in their workplace. Now, I would like to invite our last speaker, which is no less important, of course, Ibu Risti Rosniati, Sarjana Gizi Master of Science from Universitas Negeri Medan. So, Ibu Risti Rosniati is a lecturer in State University of Medan who teach nutrition, health, and food-related courses. She obtained her master degree from IPB University majoring in nutrition. In 2018, she gained an award from Business Innovation Center, Ministry of Research and Technology of the Republic of Indonesia for her innovation, namely Corn Clarias nutritious snack bar for productive worker. So, Ibu Risti, the time and screen is yours.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Indah, for very kind introduction, and then thank you for SEAMEO RECFON for inviting me as speakers in this event. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Distinguished Dr. Indah, all the speakers and committee, and then all the participants. I'm very delighted to be here in this very important event, and then today, I would like to present the result of our study. It's about the development of PRISAT, like Dr. Indah said before. PRISAT, or Productivity Result Assessment Tools, for early detection of non-communicable disease risk factors for urban worker productivity. Actually, this study conducted by me and the team from Nutrition Study Program Universitas Negeri Medan, and then supervised by Ibu Helda Husun, PhD, and then funded by SEAMEO RECFON last year. I'm trying to make it as short as possible as the time given to me. Okay, slide please. Next slide. Yeah. As we know nowadays, non-communicable disease and its outcomes have become a global health concern. WHO stated the deaths caused by non-communicable disease very large, as many as 40 million people worldwide suffer from cardiovascular disease, cancer, chronic respiratory disease, and other NCDs. Deaths due to NCDs are expected to increase, especially in middle and low-income countries, including in Indonesia. 73% of death in Indonesia caused by NCDs. And then WHO also predict that by 20 and 30, there will be 52 million people that due to NCDs yearly. The increase in NCD prevalence is influenced by the speed of urbanization in the community. Urban population has increased every year. Also in Indonesia, the change of residents from rural to urban area resulting in different lifestyle, such as the change of the diet and others. Urban worker also become a vulnerable group who at risk for suffering NCD. They are identically to shift work. And the study by Sefrina last year showed that night shift worker tend to have a risk of NCD due to the what we call circadian rhythm disturbance. And then because the higher incomes and consume instant food or sedentary activities. Next slide, please. Yeah, based on the previous result, NCDs are associated with work productivity, like we can see in the slide. Based on the previous research, show that NCD has a major impact on macroeconomic productivity in most countries in the world. And study in Indonesia by Matthias et al. Last year conclude that people with NCDs in Indonesia have a greater productivity loss than people with non-NCDs. Work productivity is is influenced by various factors such as education, skill, income, nutrition and health, work environment, and others. By paying attention to the nutrition and health of worker, a company or institution can reduce morbidity or abstention and increase work productivity. Increasing work productivity is very important for the institution to produce high quality product or services. So it is important to detect or to diagnose NCDs early. However, the process of the diagnosis of NCD can be made by health worker by checking or measurement the waist circumference and then blood pressure, glucose level or cholesterol level. Actually, we need to have a tool that can be used independently, flexible and then mobile by urban workers to identify the risk of NCDs, or we can call it risk assessment tools to prevent or to reduce the incidence of NCDs in urban worker. Next slide, please. So in this study, we try to develop the PRISAT, Productivity Risk Self-Assessment Tool, for early detection of non-communicable disease risk factor that reduce urban worker productivity. And then we try to analyze or to assess its reliability and then validity. Next slide, please. Yes, and then next, yeah. This study conducted from between February to November last year in Universitas Negeri Medan. The study has been approved by the committee from Universitas Sumatera Utara. Next slide. Yeah, this study divided to stage. The first one is identification of NCD or non-communicable disease risk factor. And then the second step is development of the PRISAT. For the first step, for the identification of NCDs risk factor, the first step to overcome this this objective, we conduct literature review, as you can see all in the presentation. We use database source PubMed, ScienceDirect, and Google Scholar, and then the process follow the flowchart and Prisma checklist. And the next slide, please. After the literature review, we try to identify a non-communicable disease risk factor. Next slide, please. And then from the first step, we continue to the next step, expert panel by expert. So we select 7 experts from many or different expertise from the occupational medicine, and then nutritionists and non-communicable disease expertise from biostatistic and non-communicable disease epidemiologists. The process expert panel conducted online using Kobo Toolbox form twice. And then the next step, slide please. We do secondary data analysis. Secondary data analysis continue from the previous step. In this step, we use data from Indonesian Family Life Survey. We can freely get this data from this website, like you can see in the slide. And the data was divided into 2 parts. For cross validation, 70% of the total respondent for NCD's risk factor analysis, and the 30% of the total respondent for cross validation. Analysis method in this step, we use binary logistic regression and then scoring system, and then ROC for determine the cutoff. Okay, next slide, please. And then the second step is development of preset. Each risk factor from the previous step, we try to convert to be a question, and then after we develop all the question, we try to do a validation, phase and response process validity, and then content validity. Phase and response process validity we conduct online through cognitive interview to 10 urban workers as a sample, and then content validity we invited 5 experts using online form, and then from the result of phase and response process validity and then content validity, we revise the preset, especially the question we use and then the answer. After this step, we continue to next slide, please, to the step for test, retest, reliability, and internal consistency. In this step, we do by online form. 2 subject, 100 urban workers. We select by purposive sampling, and then after the process data collecting, we analyze the internal consistency by Cron alpha if equal and greater than 0.7 have a good probability, and then intra-class correlation coefficient with cutoff like we can see in the slide. Next slide, please. And then the final step is validation. Through cross-validation and then historic transportability. For cross-validation, we use 30% of respondents from IFLS data, And then for historic transportability, we use NCD cohort study atau studi cohort PTM. And then basic health research atau data risk kesdas. And the two data can be applied to Badan Kebijakan Kemenkes, and then the data we try to analyze by the proportion of true and false positive and negative compute. The next slide, please. And the result are for the first step, the literature review. After following the Prisma checklist, we identify 59 references. And from 59 references, we can identify 27 risk factors related to NCDs in ban worker. Like tobacco use, low fruit and vegetable intake, low physical activity, and alcohol consumption, and so on. From the 27 risk factor, we try to choose the most relevant risk factor to simplify the preset that we develop. We don't want to be to produce tool too long or too many questions. So we conduct the next step, like I said in method. The next slide, please. The second step is expert panel to choose the most relevant NCDs risk factor for urban worker. From 27, we can reduce until 10 most relevant risk factor, such as obesity, high blood pressure, high glucose level, high cholesterol level, high waist circumference, and low physical activity, tobacco use, high saturated fat intake, and then low food and vegetable intake, and then job stress. From the expert panel result, we continue to the secondary data analysis. Next slide, please. We try to analyze using IFLS data to conduct or to get a relation from risk factor and then NCD, and then the value by odds ratio. But if we try to what we call it, try to convert to the question by the odds ratio, maybe it's difficult for non-academic or non-expert people. So we try to convert the odds ratio value to scoring system. So if we want to know the respondent or the subject has high glucose level or not, we just see or he can just answer yes or no, and then and then how much the point, something like that. Next, second, okay. The next step for secondary data analysis, we try to determine the cutoff point. The cutoff point determined by the statistically using ROC that have good sensitivity and specificity, and the result is the score the subject who have score 0 to 5 have low risk to get or to suffering NCD, and then from 0.6 to 16 have high risk. In this step, we try to conclude the risk of the subject that try to fill the form or the pre-sat. Okay, next step, please. For the development of result from the result in the previous step, we try to convert to the question for each risk factor. In this slide, we can see that this is the result, the final version of result. But I'm sorry, it's still in Bahasa Indonesia. The process how to develop the result. After we convert each risk factor to the question, we get some suggestion or comment from subject urban worker through phase and response process validity, and then from expert through content validity. All the suggestion can be can be used to revise the preset development. And the next slide, please. From the test reliability, internal consistency, and test retest reliability, we can see that preset has a good reliability. The value greater than 0.8. Next slide, please. Okay, and I think this is the last result from the development of the preset. Cross-validation and historical transportability, as we can see in the slide, these tools, this preset or productivity result assessment tool has a good sensitivity and good specificity from cross-validation result, and then from historical transportability result. Maybe from this result, we can conclude that, please slide. Preset or productivity result assessment tool was developed to identify the risk factor of non-communicable disease that can reduce the urban worker productivity, and preset is a reliable and valid instrument for early detection of NCD risk factor in urban worker. I think this is the end of my presentation. Thanks for the attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Yeah, thank you very much, Bu Risti, for sharing the result of your research about the how we can detect, we can have an early detection for non-communicable disease risk factors for urban worker. Okay, so I think all of our speakers have presented their talk, and now we are arrived in the question and answer session. So before we enter that, I think the committee already gathered some questions from the participants. I will, so this is the question directed to all the speakers, but I will read them. The first would be, okay, so this is the question directed to, I think, Prof. Muhtarudin. Yeah, the question is in Bahasa Indonesia, but I will try to translate the question so our speakers from our participants from another country could also understand. Okay, so the question is actually about among the non-formal worker, the problem of nutrition and health is lack of attention, especially because of the limitation in the budget and also probably awareness of the company. So how do we educate maybe the company and also the worker so they would understand more about the nutrition problem and health among the informal workers? Prof. Mukhtaruddin.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Dr. Indah. For Win Africa, I think, yes, you are right. The workers in informal sectors have the same health and nutrition problem, even getting worse due to the access limitation to the health and occupational health service. Actually, there have been national programs for decades targeting the informal sector workers, namely post-UKK or Office Health Services Post. This program is supervised by the Puskesmas or Public Health Center as the implementation of Office Health activities for informal sector workers. In these activities, we can see that the integrated between the nutritional, non-communicable disease, and other Office Health hazard prevention have been done through these activities. Yeah, that is from me, Dr. Indah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for Prof. Mukhtar for your answer. And the next question is how to improve the awareness of the leaders of the company about that the nutrition of workers is very important.
Yeah, I can take the point. Yes, the productivity improvement via the reducing sickness absence and presenteeism are important keywords to advocate the management. The presenteeism means that the worker usually present at the working days, but due to their health problem, they will not be able to their task optimally. The other important point is the reducing the medical related costs. So the management should be informed by using evidence of these all things. Yeah, that's for this question. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. Mukhtar. I think you have some experience regarding that, yeah. And also another question about whether there is a new regulation or maybe newer regulation from the government about food or nutrition program that should be provided by the employer for their workers. Probably maybe there is some regulation about how much calorie or how big is the fund for each worker should be provided by the employers for their meal.
Yeah, well, actually there is a new peraturan pemerintah as the reparts of the Undang-Undang Ciptaker, although it is still controversial. Unfortunately, the contents is really similar to the old one. So there is nothing new in terms of regulation. So why the academician, the researchers should contribute to make the very very implementative and up to date nutrition guidance and regulation for the government that can be developed as a policy improvement through the new regulation. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Prof. Mukhtar. And I'm very sorry that Prof. Winnie couldn't join us in this question and answer session. However, I think some of the question directed to her could also answer by you, Prof. Mukhtar, because you have, I believe that you have some experience on that. So how do you think would be the challenge of implementing a wellness program such as shared by Prof. Winnie in the workplace?
Well, if we are talking about the nutrition education, if we are talking about the nutrition behavior, eating behavior, I mean that it's related to behavior, I mean that it is really close to the what behavior change. We know that many studies show the main challenge is the evidence, the change usually more than 2 years. Yeah, I mean that it is the one of challenge in terms of implementation, and the important other important component is the leadership and management involvement to make sure that the program plan will be implemented as a plan. And the other thing is usually in the real thing, the post-production process usually very tight in terms of time. That will also the challenge to have the sufficient enough time to make education. So it is very important to find the
suaranya. Prof. Mukhtar? Yeah. I think you're muted. No? No, because we lost your voice. Could you please check your microphone? I cannot hear you. Yeah, it's still muted, Prof. Mukhtar. Okay, please now speak. Oh, it's still it's mute. Okay, maybe while waiting for Professor Mukhtar, I would also like to invite Dr. Sukma. Maybe you could also share some challenge in implementing your program.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Indah. Yes, we found some challenge when implementing our program. The first is about the time. We have to choose the exact time to do this program because, you know, a school teacher has so many tasks to do, and it makes us have to adjust more and more the duration, the time schedule, and besides that, that's why we choose the first period of academic calendar because it's a correct time, precise time to do this program because the tasks, the teacher's tasks are not so many. They don't have so many tasks there on that time. And then, of course, the challenges is pandemic. Pandemic makes us deliver the program mainly by using online education, and of course it needs more efforts as the provider to create and make the teachers interested and stay tuned on the program. That's why we choose, for example, because it's online, we choose after lunch schedule. and then it's not only online. When the pandemic become better, we choose a direct offline meeting to increase their engagement to this program. Maybe like that, Dr. Indah. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mukhtar, for Dr. Sukma for sharing your experience. I would. There's also a question about how do we improve the awareness of the workers regarding physical activity, because I think you also experienced that, Dr. Sukma, that many of workers in Jakarta especially live outside Jakarta, in the outskirts of Jakarta, and how can we make they could improve their physical activity while they're probably took 1 or 2 hours just to commute.
Yeah. Of course, this is also the challenge to motivate the physical activity or OPA. We maybe from the systematic review, we obtain so many ways to how to increase the motivation, such as making what the support group for certain sport, and then it will makes them motivate. Like in one of our research site, SD Kenari, they already have the tennis table. So especially the male, not only male, few female teachers also join to play after lunch break. So they did that tennis table sport every day, and then in our research we learned that the power of screening. So we have to make them aware about their health condition by that screening. So the screening is very powerful for them to gain the awareness, or okay, I have my blood pressure is so high, that's why I have to do this program. And from the education, they obtain so many knowledge or information that we can reduce the blood pressure by doing physical activity, for instance, like that.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Sukma. I would also like to invite Ibu Risti to share her opinion regarding, especially there is a question whether your tool, the PRISAT, is also useful for a school teacher, because I know that you piloted these tools in the workers, in the factory workers, but would it be useful to be implemented at school?
Thank you, Dr. Indah. Yes, I think the PRISAT can be used by school teacher also, because when we try to do try to do face validity and then reliability test to subject urban worker, some of our samples is from the school teacher also. So urban worker in this study, not only the factory worker maybe, but also the school teacher. I think if the school teacher from the urban area, maybe something like that.
Okay, so is your tool an self-assessment tool, or is it should be observed by another user?
This is self-assessment.
Okay.
Like the name PRISAT, productivity risk self-assessment tool. So this is self-assessment tool. That's why we try to formulate or to use the question as simple as we can, that all the people from the I think non-academic or non-expert people can understand the question and how to fill the preset or the tools, and then how to interpret the result after they fill the assessment.
Okay, thank you very much. There are some questions from the participants, but I'm unfortunately we cannot convey in this session because the questions are beyond our topic, yeah. Because in this topic, actually, we are focusing more on the nutrition of workers. So if we are talking about school or university, it means that it is targeted to the teacher, not to the students. So I'm very sorry that for those who ask about how do we improve the nutrition of our students, it's beyond the topic of this webinar. However, I would like to invite you to follow our social media of SEAMEO RECFON, because there we have so many information regarding the nutrition for children, yeah, because it's also part of our two other flexi program. So if there is still any question from the participant, I would like to also there is also still an opportunity to ask your question. Yeah. So I would like to ask Dr. Sukma and Ibu Risti. So how would you continue your research? How would you probably extend the use of the program and the tools that is resulted from your research? Because we in SEAMEO RECFON as the collaborator in this research and also the funding, I believe we would be very happy if your research could also reach a greater population. Dr. Sukma, please.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Nda. Of course, I'm very happy to hear that and it's open, yeah, for many institution or stakeholders to if you want to develop more this program, because our goal is how to just like in our jargon, ya, sehat guruku cerdas bangsaku. We want our teachers, especially elementary school teachers, has become healthier and to increase for our next generation, of course. So I think it's open for any institution or maybe a government want to contribute or interfere more deeply in this program. Thank you, Dr.
Bu Risti?
Okay, I think the same answer with Dr. Sukma juga. Sorry, very open for the collaboration research maybe because from from our result when we process this research, we need an extra or another research, especially for these tools. One of the suggestions from the subject urban worker from our study, they what we call, they have difficulties to calculate the total score number. So this is still manually. when we try to answer question one, first question, the answer is the point is 1 or 2 or something like else, and in the end of the billing process, the assessment, the subject have to calculate or subcalculate the total point. So the suggestion from the subject is, can we make an online person so they can just to answer the question and the total point, what we call it, automatically automatically can they know without calculate what we call it, calculate manually, something like that. So maybe next research we can try to collaborate to make another person or online person or web person of the preset or Android person of the preset, maybe something like that, Dr. Indah.
Okay,
Great. So I would like to invite the participants here to maybe contact Dr. Sukma or Ibu Risti, so if they are interested to implement same program or same other tools in their respective workplace. And Dr. Sukma, there's a question whether your model could be implemented in another type of school, because you specifically implement your program for the primary school teacher, right?
Yeah.
So how about for secondary school, like high school teacher, can we implement your program, or what do you think?
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the question. Very good question. Of course, it could be implemented, but we need some adjustment, maybe to adapt or adjust it with the kind of teaching schedule of the secondary or higher school. But the main core of this model, I think it's also suitable, because we do the same screening and then education, training, and then self-monitoring. It would be the same. I think the adjustment is only for time schedule. So I think it's also available to do, but maybe we have to discuss more to in the implementation. Maybe like that, Dr. Indah.
Again, so maybe your model need to be piloted in different types of school. And hopefully there will be school participants from different schools here interested to implement your model. And also another question, whether your model could be implemented for school that is located in the low socioeconomic area.
Yes, of course. This is a very important and good question, because many people think that healthy food, physical activity will expend, will costly, will expend much money. But I actually in this study we didn't find that. It's not an obstacle at all. Since for example, one elementary school located near the marketplace, so it's very easy, and I was surprised because I thought the brown rice would be very difficult to find, but not at all. It's easy to find in a ready to eat version of the brown sugar on the traditional market. So it's not expensive at all. And about vegetable and fruits, we motivate them to consume more local fruit, easy to get, easy to buy, and cheaper. Even though I know that maybe if you read about this diet, we have to buy super fruit or the expensive ones, but no, in this program we suggest them to eat our local fruit has uh, the same nutrition with that super fruits. Maybe you only can find in abroad, yeah, or in our foreign market. Maybe like that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Sukma. Unfortunately, Prof. Muhtarudin cannot stay in our session. So in this, as a closing, I want to invite Dr. Sukma and Ibu Risti to probably give their take-home message for the participants. Okay, please, Dr. Sukma, you can start.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Indah. Thank you. My closing remarks is healthy nutrition, especially this diet, increasing physical activity at workplace, and regularly blood pressure checkup are very important things to do and considered by both employer and employee in order to increase health status and productivity. And we could started from elementary school as the very beginning place to grow of our next bright generation. And people don't have to worry. It's not expensive. It's cheap and it's easy to access. Thank you.
It's very inspiring, Dr. Sukma.
Thank you.
Ibu Risti, please.
Okay, thank you, Ferinda. Actually, I didn't prepare for special remark, but I think today we have all know the how to prepare. How to prevent the what we call it bad nutrition or health result. So in this moment, I think I try to what we call it all the people to let's try to do the prevention to the non-communicable disease by doing the early detection. We have to know the risk factor, what risk factor that maybe we have in our daily activity. So if we know early, so we can do the prevention before the disease or non-communicable disease come to us, or we are suffering non-communicable disease that can reduce our productivity. Okay, maybe this is the special remark for me, Dr. Indah. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bu Risti. So to conclude this webinar, I would like to give some probably also take home message that wellness is a journey of continuous improvement, and the key to wellness is to accept personal responsibility for our own health and well-being. And in the workplace, it should begin from the top management and then distributed to all the workers in the institution. Nutrition promotion strategies, healthy work organizations and environment, as well as nutritional quality of diets are the basic strategy to prevent malnutrition in the workplace. And education institutions such as university and school could play a bigger role in achieving wellness of its community member. With the increasing burden of non-communicable diseases among worker population, including those who work in the education institution, several models have been proposed and studied to identify and manage the problem, as presented by all our two researchers. However, more research are still needed to strengthen its adoption and implementing in various work settings. Again, I would like to thank you all the research persons who kindly share their knowledge and experience in this webinar. And I would like to also thank you all the participants who participated very actively in this session. And with that, I would like to return the screen and time to our MC. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Linda, for moderating the session. So our speakers. Okay. Thank you very much for moderating the session, Doc Inda. Our sincerest gratitude to our speakers, as well as for the enlightening presentations and discussions. Thank you for all participants who took part in the Q&A sessions as well. For the speakers and moderators, please kindly wait, because as we're ending our panel session, we would like to give certificates of appreciation for all resource persons and moderator. Therefore, if I'm not mistaken, Prof. Mutaruddin Mansur cannot stay in the Zoom meeting. So we are now moving on to re-invite Dr. Sukma Agung Purbowo from Indonesia Association of Family Physicians, and our acting director of SEAMEO RECFON, Dr. Zainun Misbah, will give the certificate of appreciation, and the committee will help us to put them on screen for our documentation purposes. Okay, since I don't have the screen in front of me, can the committee please inform me if the screen has been shown? Okay, we're going to take the picture. Have we taken it already? All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Zain and Dr. Sukma, for your sharing in this webinar. And last but not least, we would like to invite Bu Risti Rosmiati, SGZ MSE from State University of Medan, and our acting director of SEAMEO RECFON, Dr. Zainun Misbah, will help to provide the certificate of appreciation for our resource person. Thank you very much, Bu Risti, for your participation. Okay. Since Prof. Winnie couldn't attend our webinar live, we can move on to give a certificate of appreciation to Dr. Indah Widyaning, PhD. Thank you very much, Doc, for being our moderator. And our acting director, Dr. Zainun Misbah, will help to give our certificate of appreciation to our moderator. And the committee will help us to take a picture for our documentation purposes. Okay, we have already taken all photos for the certificate of appreciation session. Ladies and gentlemen, as we are getting closer to the end of our agenda, we will now kindly invite SEAMEO RECFON's Deputy Director for Program, Dr. Jesus C. Fernandez, to launch SEAMEO RECFON's programs on multiplex micronutrient analysis service and online healthy school canteen training. Dr. Jess, please take over the session. The screen is yours.
Okay, thank you very much, Tita. I hope I'm getting clear to everyone. My voice is clear to everyone. Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. As you know, SEAMEO RECFON, as a center of excellence in food and nutrition, continues to implement innovative programs and activities to cater to the needs and expectations of our stakeholders. This morning, I am privileged to announce and invite you all to participate in our forthcoming activities. But the first activity that I will announce is all about the Early Childhood Care, Nutrition, and Education competition that we'll be having this year. This competition aims to provide a sharing platform for best practices in stunting reduction implementation by our government partners and also academic partners all over Indonesia. Further information will be provided to you about this competition through the video that we will now show you. Okay, so that is the first activity that I am really enthusiastic to share with you all, because this is a competition, and hope that you will be able to participate, particularly our local government partners and also academic partners. The second activity is aimed to intensify our desire to offer IT-based multiple learning modalities to reach a wider audience in Southeast Asia. And for this year, ladies and gentlemen, we are offering the online training on healthy school canteen for school communities that we will be putting on through Udemy platform. We hope that all the school communities, particularly school principals, teachers, canteen operators, the vendors, parents, and even the local government officials can participate in this online course, so you can learn how to make your school canteen offer much safer and healthier food options for your students. So this course is a self-paced course, and so you can join any session anytime as far as your available time can allow you. The following video will provide you further information about this online training. So watch it. Well, if that course looks interesting to you, then grab the opportunity to register soon, and that will be available next month. Our third activity, and equally important one, is about the multiplex human micronutrient assessment service that we are now able to offer this year. As most of you may already know, micronutrient biomarkers become a critical part of our research as indicators for the nutritional status in nutrient deficiency and its functional consequences, as well as all the implications for the cause. This biomarker examination is very costly and very challenging to some of the research person. So we are now able to have this kind of service in our laboratory, and in just one examination with only small amount of samples needed. So let's spend some time to see this introductory video of our new laboratory service for your further information.
Malnutrition in all its forms is a persistent problem across Southeast Asia. UNICEF, WHO, and World Bank reported that 1 in every 4 children under 5 years of age in Southeast Asia are stunted, and 1 out of 10 of under 5 children are each wasted and overweight. And the scarier thing is that an estimated 1 in every 2 children in the Southeast Asia has at least one micronutrient deficiency. What is malnutrition? Malnutrition is a term used to refer to deficiencies, excessive and/or imbalanced nutrient intake and utilization. Undernutrition are inclusive to underweight, wasting, stunting, and micronutrient deficiencies, while the term referred to overnutrition belongs to overweight, obesity, and micronutrient excess. Some form of malnutrition can coexist in one individual, such as a child who is overweight and anemic at the same time, but can be present over the life cycle of one individual, for example, stunted during the first years and obese as an adult. And what are the impacts of malnutrition? Malnutrition elevates the risk of impaired health and development, as well as mortality of infant and child. People with malnutrition have higher risk to get infectious and non-communicable diseases. Malnutrition also amplifies healthcare costs and reduces productivity, which can affect the country's economic growth and human development. To strengthen the existing malnutrition eradication programs, research-informed decision-making is needed to develop efficient and target-specific policies and programs. Micronutrient biomarkers becomes a critical part of research as indicators of the nutritional status in nutrient deficiency and its functional consequences, as well as the effectiveness of interventions. In carrying out biomarker examinations, many researchers face the challenge of obtaining cost and resource-efficient analysis with well-guaranteed quality. Therefore, to answer those challenges, micronutrient biomarker examination can be carried out in multiplex technology. This multiplex technology provides a more economic, rapid, and ecologically sound alternative for research that requires testing various biomarkers per sample, because the multiplex can analyze several biomarkers in one run. SEAMEO RECFON, as a Center for Food and Nutrition Studies, continues to innovate in providing excellent service for customers. Accommodating the needs of researchers and other stakeholders, now SEAMEO RECFON proudly provided a multiplex human micronutrient assessment service that can analyze several micronutrient biomarkers in one examination. The micronutrient biomarkers analyzed includes alpha-1 acid glycoprotein, C-reactive protein, ferritin, retinol-binding protein 4, soluble transferrin receptors, histidine-rich protein 2, and thyroglobulin biomarkers. For further information, feel free to ask us through our social media channels.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we look forward to your participation in our ECCNE competition as well as in our online training course on healthy school canteen for school communities. We also hope that you will be availing yourself of the services of our multiple human micronutrient assessment service that is now available in our center. If you need more information, please do not hesitate to contact us via our website or email and our social media. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jess, for launching our programs. So we also thank our colleagues from SEAMEO RECFON for the hard work on these achievements. Ladies and gentlemen, we have achieved the long-awaited session of today's webinar, which is the winner announcement of SEAMEO RECFON's social media competitions. For those of you who have taken part in this competition, you might be in our winners list. So be sure to stay tuned. Now, we already have our list of winners, our speed and accuracy quiz, and Instagram reels on good practice of balanced nutrition in the workplace. So the screen will show all winners we have today. The committee will help us to put it on screen. So we have the winners of speed and accuracy quiz for part 1 until 3. The winners of speed and accuracy quiz for part 1, we have Tias Permatasari from IPB. Okay, we have Tias Permatasari from IPB Bogor. Congratulations. For the winners of part 2, we have Yanti from Kantin Koperasi Kalpemas. Congratulations. And for our third winners, for part 3, we have Mutia Fadila Rahmawati from RS Matas Cicendo, Bandung. Congratulations for all winners of speed and accuracy quiz. So all winners should contact our committee later on. And when we have the winners for Instagram Reels competition on good practice of balanced nutrition in the workplace, our second runner-up or our third winner is Salsabila Romadona from TPA Baitul Taqwa.
Ini lebih baik. Kurang tepat. Ini lebih baik. Kurang tepat. Ini lebih baik. Yuk bersama-sama kita terapkan pola makan gizi seimbang di tempat kerja.
Congratulations.
Zat gizi pekerja perlu diatur sehingga dapat mencapai tingkat produktivitas yang tinggi. Di Indonesia, angka produktivitas tenaga kerja menurun 1,3% pada tahun 2019. Hal tersebut perlu dicegah supaya dapat meminimalisir kelelahan kerja dan memberikan dampak positif bagi lingkungan kerja. Lalu, bagaimana cara mencegahnya? 1. Biasakan cuci tangan dengan air mengalir dan sarapan pagi. 2. Mengkonsumsi aneka ragam makanan. 3. Batasi konsumsi GGL, gula, garam, lemak. 4. Minum air putih sebanyak 8 gelas per hari. 5. Biasakan membaca label pada kemasan pangan. 6. Lakukan aktivitas fisik untuk mempertahankan berat badan normal. Bersama gizi membangun negeri, tubuh sehat, kerja kuat.
And our winner is Atifa Asmitakia from Poltekkes Bandung.
Menerapkan aktivitas fisik dan berolahraga. Caranya bisa dengan berjalan kaki atau memilih olahraga yang kamu sukai yang dilakukan sebanyak 3-5 kali per minggu selama minimal 30 menit. Yang kedua, menjaga kebersihan diri dan lingkungan dengan mencuci tangan dengan baik dan benar dengan 6 langkah dengan air mengalir. Lalu, jangan lupa menjaga kebersihan dengan bebersih. Yang ketiga, mengkonsumsi beraneka ragam makanan sesuai dengan pedoman gizi seimbang, yaitu mengandung karbohidrat, protein hewani, sayuran, protein nabati, snack dan buah-buahan. Nah, berikut ini contoh isi piringku. Yang terakhir, menjaga berat badan ideal yang sesuai dengan mengukur lingkar lengan atas untuk mengetahui resiko kekurangan energi kronis, atau mengukur lingkar perut untuk mengetahui resiko obesitas sentral, atau lihat tabel sebagai berikut.
Thank you very much, and congratulations once again to all winners that we have today. Once again, thank you for your participation to join our competition online. Once again, huge congratulations and thank you for joining us to celebrate our anniversary. For all winners, please don't forget to contact our committee at our Instagram direct message or email us at information@seameorecfon.org to claim your prizes. And the committee will help us to share the email in the chat box. Ladies and gentlemen, our webinar is coming to an end. Allow us to thank all our distinguished resource persons and honorable participants for your kind attention and participation today. Also, thank you to those who have joined us on YouTube live streams. I would like to inform you that our session will be continued in this Saturday on the 25th of February. And we want to remind the audience that our anniversary celebration series still has a continuation event in commemorating the 63rd National Nutrition Day. And still in the spirit of SEAMEO RECFON's 12th anniversary, SEAMEO RECFON, in collaboration with UHAMKA and Universitas Ahmad Dahlan, will conduct a webinar to promote animal-based protein consumption for stunting eradication. The webinar will be held this Saturday, the 25th of February. And don't forget to register yourself on the link that will be shown later on screen by the committee. I would like also to inform you again that all participants are expected to fill out the evaluation form as the proof of attendance, and presentation materials can be accessed through the link shown on screen and shared by committee in the chat box and YouTube comment section. So as we can see on the screen, we have our evaluation form. So please don't forget to fill in the form. Once again, please allow yourself some time to fill in the evaluation form as a proof of attendance, because only those who completed the evaluation who are eligible to receive certificate of participation. Again, don't forget that we have our continuation event to celebrate our 12th anniversary. That will be held this Saturday, the 25th of February. So don't forget to register yourself on the link that will be shared by the committee. For all competition winners, please don't forget to contact our committee at our Instagram direct message or email us at information@seameorecfon.org to claim your prizes. We would also inviting you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, SEAMEO RECFON, and follow our social media for more information. We want to express our heartfelt thanks to our colleagues from SEAMEO RECFON and the organizers of this webinar, who have been working very hard for the success of this event. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a great pleasure for me to be the master of ceremony on this webinar on nutrition, health, and productivity nexus in the workplace. I'm Nindita. See you on our next webinar. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
nutrition goes to school. 'Cause we are the agents of change. Aim higher and higher, be the greatest. We are the agents of change. That's where the awesome generation to dream of a better future. We need a healthy present, good nutrition we must nurture to build an active world. Breakfast before you go, make sure your plate's complete with food that can make you nourished. Run fast towards your goal, live life with full of hope. Together we'll make it happen, and GTS is the way. We are the agents of change. Aim higher and higher, be the greatest. We are the agents of change. Yes, we're the awesome generation. Cause we're the awesome generation. To dream of a better future, we need a healthy present. Good nutrition we must nurture to build an active world. Breakfast before you go, make sure your plate's complete with food that can make you nourished. Run fast towards your goal, live life with full of hope. Together we'll make it happen. Nutrition goes to school. 'Cause we are the agents of change. Aim higher and higher, be the greatest. We are the agents of change. That's where the awesome generation to dream of a better future. We need a healthy present, good nutrition we must nurture of a better future, we need a healthy present. Good nutrition we must nurture to build an active world. Breakfast before you go, make sure your plate's complete with food that can make you nourished. Run fast towards your goal, live life with full of hope. Together we'll make it happen. Nutrition goes to school, 'cause we are the agents of change. Aim higher, be the greatest. We are the agents of change. 'Cause we're the awesome generation. To dream of a better future, we need a healthy present. Good nutrition we must nurture to build an active world. Breakfast before you go, make sure your plate's complete with food that can make you nourished. Run fast towards your goal, live life with full of hope. Together we'll make it happen, and GTS is the way. We are the agents of change. Aim higher, be the greatest. We are the agents of change. 'Cause we're the awesome generation. Cause we're the awesome generation. To dream of a better future, we need a healthy present.
Latte nggak pakai gula. Gara-gara nggak mau pakai